Welcome to our final video of lesson 5-3. This video we're going to start off with a couple of story problems. Now boys and girls, you do not have to copy the story problems. What I want you to worry about instead is worry about completing the problem correctly. So I'm going to type them up and I'll go over them, but I'm not going to give you the response till we go through all the problems because this is about you solving the problems the best you can without any help. So give me a second while I type up the first problem. So our first problem is the Winkleman family bought a 1 pound 16-ounce bag of popcorn. On Sunday they popped 2 ounces, on Monday they popped 4 ounces, and on Tuesday they popped 3 ounces. What fraction of the popcorn have they popped thus far, and what fraction is left? Now boys and girls, I want you to don't think of this as pounds, but think of this as in terms of ounces. And that's your hint for this problem. All right, the second problem is, just give me a second, I'll type that up. Problem number 2, Mrs. Owens walked 9/10 mile from home and then walked 1/10 mile and then went back 1/10 mile. How far is she from her home now? So why don't you solve that one as well. And then I have some other miscellaneous problems for you. So give me a second and I will write those down. And our final problems are, we have 6/7 minus 2/7 equals n over 7. Solve for n. We have 4/8 less 3/8 equals n/8. Solve for n. And then we have 1/12 plus 3/12 plus 7/12 equals n/12. Solve for n. And then here we have 3d plus 3d plus 2d equals 8/9. Solve for d. And then we have 1d plus 1d plus 1d plus 1d plus 1d plus 1d plus 1d equals d over d. Solve for d. So why don't you pause the video, not plural, and why don't you take some time, solve these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 problems, and when you're done, restart the video and check and see how you did. Good luck, 5th graders. Hopefully, 5th graders, you've taken some time to work through these problems, and now you've got some solutions, and we're going to check and see how you did. All right, first let's talk about the Winkleman family and their love of popcorn. So they bought a 16-ounce bag, and on Sunday they popped 2 ounces, which means they popped 2/16 of the bag. And then on Monday they popped 4 ounces, which was 4/16 of the bag. And then on Tuesday, 3/16. So how much have they popped thus far? And the reason why I gave you the hint of 16ths, because we really can't do it with pounds. So they've popped something 16ths thus far. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They've popped 9/16 so far. Oops, that doesn't so far. Now, what fraction is left? We're going to take what they started with, which was 16 ounces out of 16 ounces, and now we're going to subtract 9/16. And what we're going to get is, we know our denominator is going to stay the same, which is 16. 16 less 9 is 7/16 is left. All right. So now let's look at Mrs. Owens. She walked 9/10 mile from home and then walked 1/10 mile. Went back 1/10. How far is she from her home right now? Well, we know she walked away this far. She walked 9/10 out. And then she walked back 1/10. So now how far is she? Well, we know it's going to stay 10th. Now it's 9 less 1. It's going to be 8/10 of a mile. So she's 8/10 of a mile away from her home. Now let's solve for n, and then solve for n here, and then we'll solve for d down here. Let's start with 6/7 minus 2/7 equals n/7. Well, 7 is going to stay, so 6 minus 2 is going to be n is equal to, oops, let's switch colors here. N is equal to 4. All right. 4/8 minus 3/8. 8 stays the same, but it's 4 minus 3 is 1, so n is equal to 1. And then we have 1 12 plus 3 12 plus 7 12. 12 stays the same, but we have 1 plus 3 is 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 7 is 11. So it's going to be 11 12, so n equals 11. All right, solving for D. 3 plus 3 plus 2 is 8, and it's 9. So we know our language doesn't change, so D is going to be 9. So 3 over 9 plus 3 over 9 plus 2 over 9 equals 8 over 9. And finally, we have 1D, 1 over D plus 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 1 over D equals D over D. Now, we know that the D is not going to change throughout. So whatever the bottom number is going to be the bottom number here. But how are we going to get to this D? Well, what we do know is the numerator is going to change. So we're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So D is equal to 7, which means that 1 over 1 plus 1 over 1 is going to give me 1/7. So if I fill this in, let's change my color here just to something a little bit brighter so it sticks out a little bit more. So if I change it, 1/7 plus 1/7 plus 1/7 plus 1/7 1/7 plus 1/7 plus 1/7 plus, so that's going to be 7, and then add all those up, they're going to get 7. So that's it, boys and girls. I want you to go back and think about that question that we started with, though. How is subtracting fractions like adding fractions? And then how is it different? So I want us to take some time and just jot something down. Show that to Mr. Winkleman so he knows you're ready for your gift. Nice work.